a little glass of red wine. Well, I'm going to have as much red wine as I like because I'm not as hungover or as feeling as rough as my darling friend Leslie here. You might have you've overdone it this last 6 months, haven't you? And it's come to a head.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I have. Well, the idea about this tonight is medicinal.
She thinks that's medicinal, but I'm not sure. I don't know how you get away with that. Anyway,
I don't know. Cheers, darling. Never mind. Hey.
Anyway,
never mind.
tonight this is our fetishes episode, and we've been doing a little bit of research into all sorts of rude things that people get excited about. Do you remember that TV programme about men dressing up as ponies, horses?
Yes.
Yes.
It disturbed me for many, many months. As in most programmes I watch that are about fetishes,
It was
disturbed me.
absolutely bizarre. But you know, it was all lovely, it was all consensual, so we're not judging, we're not knocking any of this stuff. This isn't to try and make anyone feel awkward or embarrassed.
We're not judging.
No, we don't care. But we just think it's fascinating. Just think, and how does someone work out that they get turned on by dressing up like
As a pony?
A pony, and having someone go, come on, giddy up behind them.
I'd like to, so if there's anybody watching this
Please
that
explain
likes
that
to dress
to us,
up as a
yeah.
pony, can you please tell us how you first knew that you loved dressing up as a pony?
And there wasn't just that, there was another one where guys dress up as dogs and act like dogs and identify as dogs, and they like to go in cages and they're like puppy play, they're called.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that. But do you know what? That's just reminded me of a funny story.
Oh
actually.
God, Leslie and her funny story.
Well, actually, this is one about me.
Oh.
Do you remember? I don't know whether you watched Big Brother.
Yeah,
Right,
sometimes.
when Big Brother was on years
I know
ago.
what you're going to say.
Ruleneska and
George Gallagher.
Yeah, whatever
Galloway.
his name is.
Galloway, yeah.
Yeah, do you remember that? And
I
he
do.
had to be a pussycat. Do you remember? So he was. She
was stroking.
Yeah,
and
he was
everything.
purring, and
Yeah.
she was stroking the pussycat. Or no, he was dressed as a pussycat. So this is a strange thing all about fetishes, isn't it? But each to their own.
Each to their own, definitely.
So have you got any particular fetishes, Dawn?
No.
or not that you actually want to admit? Is that what you're talking about?
That's probably not something I wish to discuss, knowing that my children and
Are
my darling
watching.
Rodney watch this show.
Yeah, this is the trouble, isn't it? Sometimes we can't be completely
Yeah, we can't
honest,
be.
can
Yeah,
we?
no, I don't. But I mean, obviously, I have come across quite a few oddities
Yes.
in my.
Yes. Can you
past
tell
life.
us a few? Tell us a few stories.
Okay, there was a really weird one where there was a chap who, I don't know how, again, how on earth would he work out this? He liked to, he put some socks on his hands. Put socks on his hands, and then he'd like to rub the socks like that. And his hand is on the floor.
Oh no.
And then apparently he liked to do that, you know, the
What touches Winky while he's got socks on his hands?
yes.
Oh dear God. Okay.
That's a little bit odd.
So if you're out there and that's you,
yeah,
let us know
but
how you first found that out.
How do you
Yeah.
work that one out? I don't know.
Ooh,
What's
I
the
just put my
feeling?
socks on my
And have a
hands
little
and have a play.
J.
with it.
Arthur. That's what it's called, isn't it?
Yes,
I don't know. There are all sorts of strange, weird, and wonderful things.
I've had my toes sucked during an evening of passion.
Really?
Oh, that freaked me right out.
That's a bit. Why would anyone want to do that?
Well, especially my toes. My kids will be watching this and they'll be like, they'll be really cringing.
Please
Going,
no.
clearly it's in the
No.
dark and the bloke did not see actually my toes.
It's a bit weird. It's a bit
Yeah,
weird
it's
to
weird.
want to do
They're
that,
all like
isn't it? But
Yes.
foot fetish stuff, that is huge at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently
And
so.
Apparently on that OnlyFans thing, there's people make thousands doing
Yeah, I've heard
fetish
all about
stuff.
this OnlyFans thing.
OnlyFans. I don't think it's something we could get involved
That we
in.
can get
darling.
involved
No,
in. No, okay. No. What do you mean we wouldn't have any fans?
I don't think. Yeah,
That
we'd
we
only
would-
have one maybe if we were very
we'd
lucky.
be willing to do what they're
Yeah,
asking us to
we'd
do.
just be going, no, not doing that. Have your money back.
But to be fair, I probably would if the price was right. Because I can remember a few years ago, I mean, obviously, you all know I had a lingerie shop, and I used to have a chap that used to come in and he used to ask me to take my shoes off so that he could see my feet in tights or stockings. He liked to see the seam across the foot. So when he first came in and he said, "Oh, can you take your shoe off? Can I look at your foot?" I did, obviously.
Because you just thought, oh,
I just went, "Oh, of course." So I took my shoe off and he's there just staring at my
and he was
feet.
going, did you not
Yeah.
accelerated heart rate?
It was
Was you sort of jiggling about?
And
Did you not? Was it not a clue?
No, I mean, the fact that he had a map on and he walked in, you know,
Doing
with,
that.
with a
Shuffling about.
Tesco's carry bag. There are other supermarkets out there, but whatever. So yes, it wasn't very pleasant to say, but he kept coming back every Thursday. He picked up. He would used to. Oh, this is no word of a lie. This is so sad, actually. He would pick up his benefits on a Thursday, and he would come in and clear me out of stockings. He bought stockings to put on himself, and he would. I mean, yeah, bless him. So he would go home, he would buy underwear from me, buy stockings, he'd have some heels that he bought from a charity shop. He would go home and he would look at himself in the mirror, dressed in the underwear, stockings and high heels. And I kind of asked him, you know, why would you do that? I mean, I don't know why I asked him.
You did ask him.
I wasn't really
yeah.
ready for the answer, but I asked him. And he just said, because I've never had a girlfriend and it's the nearest thing I get to seeing female form.
Oh, that's so sad.
That's so sad, isn't it? But so every week, every Thursday, like clockwork, collect his money, and he would come in. I'd take my feet out of my shoes to show him my feet in my tights, and he'd buy a load of stockings. And then at one point, because he thought, I think he thought I quite liked him. I mean, I was just being me and just being nice. And my friends that know me know that this happens a lot. Then I get stuck with a weirdo. He leant across the counter and tried to kiss me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not
Anyway,
good.
bless him.
bless him.
And I closed the lingerie shop down. Anyway, but yes, lots of different. I used to watch Louis Theroux. Do you remember Louis Theroux's program? And I used to love watching that, and he would cover a lot on fetishes.
Yes, I do remember Louis Theroux used to talk about, or he still does talk about all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff, and he's been to stay with all these people. Very bizarre.
He has a great job.
Yeah.
I'd quite like to do his job.
Yeah, it
if
would
I'm
be really
honest.
weird, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? It'd be really weird. So I have a story about feet and stuff. Anyway, this guy phoned the agency that I used to work for. And you know what I used to do in living
Yes,
stuff.
yeah, what she used to
my
do.
previous lifetime. Okay,
Exciting.
long time ago. Anyway, first of all, Pat phoned me to see if I was available and asked me what size shoe I was. And I said I was about 7'7", 8". And I did think, oh, okay, that's a bit odd, but nothing really, you know. Oh, hot.
You're having a hot flash.
I am. I'm having a hot flash.
Sorry.
So-
and talking about this topic as well.
I have to say, it's not getting me excited. I promise. So off I went to London to this hotel, and this chap answered the door. Tall, nice-looking man in a beautiful pair of high-heeled black shoes. And I just thought, oh, a bit weird, but there you go. More of a glow. More of a glow.
You're glowing, darling.
Yes.
You are glowing.
So the thing that sort of did the red flag, I suppose, was the shoelaces all tied around his waist and around and shoelaces.
Shoelaces?
Yeah, all tied around him and under his bits and bobs.
How did you get shoelaces?
Well, he must have just tied them all round him. It was like
He must have been quite tiny.
No, he had several shoelaces all knotted and tied round him, and then like a bit under his bits. It's all. Anyway, all he wanted to do was.
What did he want?
Well,
What did he want to do?
He asked me for my shoes, which was fine. So he spent several hours literally sniffing cocaine out of my shoes and off my feet, and that was it. That was it. That was all I had to do. Just
that was
lie
quite-
back and think of.
That was quite an easy job there.
Yeah, I was like, oh God, did I remember to put the dinner on the slow cooker and
Oh,
you know, I'm
seriously.
thinking that I must pick some bread up on the way home. Things like
I
that.
quite like the job. If that's all you
and
had
that's
to do.
literally all I had to do, and I just got to go, ooh, yeah, and sort of pose with my feet. Anyway, then when it was time to go,
Good job I'm having a glass of wine
yeah,
tonight. I'm not having a
yeah.
cup of tea.
When it was time to go, he said, "Can I have your shoes, please?" I said, "Oh, well, what am I going to go home in? Oh, just help yourself." And he literally had a wardrobe full of ladies' shoes. I was obviously not the first lady he'd seen that
of
week,
course.
and he had a wardrobe full of these shoes.
I love
all. But mine were £10 Primark ones.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Primani.
Primani, darlings.
Primani.
Primani. They were 10 quid from Primark. And on this rack, I'm not joking, they were all Valentino, they were
Nice.
Jimmy Choos, Louis Vuitton, all of
Nice.
that. And I just thought, I just think I want to leave now. You know, I've got this big handful of money and I just want to go home.
Handful of money and some nice shoes.
Yeah. So I just picked up, I love these, lovely pair of Jimmy Choos, off I went.
Nice.
Do you know what? I didn't even wear the bloody things. I put them on the rack out the garage, and the poxy dog
After all that?
ate one of the shoes.
I forgot.
Well, the kids must have knocked one of them off the thing, off the rail, and yes, the bloody dog ate one. And I remember seeing
After all that?
shit. Yes.
Well, this is why I haven't got
Yeah.
pets, so they don't eat my shoes.
Well, yeah, dogs like
Or don't
shoes,
eat anything.
don't they? Yeah.
Actually. Yeah, they do.
But it just amazed me. How did that man?
Come to that conclusion.
Yeah, but that's
This is
what
my
you wanted to
point.
do.
So when I used to watch Louis, I'm just about to say Louis Vuitton.
Oh, yeah,
Louis
he did the one about the men dressed as
Babies.
Cindy dolls.
Oh, Cindy dolls.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like plastic outfits with Cindy dolls. He did
Yeah.
babies, men dressed as babies.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do remember seeing a reel on Facebook not so long ago about a man who lives in America. He's been adopted by a couple, and he identifies as a 3 or 5 year old little girl. And they pick him up and they cuddle him and they rock him to sleep. And he wears little girls' outfits and he sucks his thumb and he's their little child. And he sleeps in a little girl's bedroom.
Oh, I can't even bear it.
And he gets stroked to sleep. I don't know what's going on.
No,
But
I
I mean,
seriously lived such a sheltered
the couple
life,
that have adopted
honestly.
him are as nuts as him. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's what he wants to be. He wants to be officially recognised as a 3-year-old child.
I mean, each to their own.
No, that's a bit weird.
Each to their own.
No, that's right.
Each to their own. But there are loads of weirdos around. We know there are loads of weirdos around. But I have to say, in all of my life and my few, relationships I've had,
Just one or two?
in the bedroom, literally, that's really been the worst.
Just with
of
the
it.
father of your children.
Was the-
That's it.
Yes,
Yes.
obviously
kids.
The relationship I've just had with the father of my children. So honestly, nothing really. Nobody has ever wanted to do anything weird, thankfully, because I wouldn't like it. Oh, apart from, you see now I'm remembering.
Apart from.
I did have a relationship with somebody that did like the whole handcuffs and handcuffing you to the bed and stuff like that, and blindfolding. Now I had a really bad incident happen with that happening when I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of not being able to, have control, or the feeling of being trapped.
Yeah, that's
a
horrible.
lot of people do like that, though, don't they, with the whole cufflinks.
Well, I
and
think a lot of
blindfolding
it,
and stuff.
that S&M stuff, I have been involved in that, yes.
Yeah.
And I did know someone who liked all of that very, very much and took it to the absolute extreme.
Really?
It was all far too much for me. I just wasn't interested, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was what he wanted, and that total humiliation and
Yeah.
weird. No, far
Yeah.
too much for me.
Control, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. He wanted to
feel
relinquish.
sometimes it's
He wanted me to
control.
control him and totally relinquish all his control.
Oh, okay.
And be totally humiliated. I had to make
Oh,
up things
right.
for him to
Okay,
do,
yeah.
and to
that's just
humiliate
weird.
him. And I used to sit there thinking, Jesus, what am I going to do next?
That's so weird.
And
Didn't you have one where you had to wee on him?
oh, yeah, but that's another thing, isn't it? How do people decide that they like that?
How do you know
You
you like to be weed on?
Yes, I have done that.
How do you know that?
There was a gentleman who used to sit in the bath, and I'd sort of sit, straddle him and pee on him.
Oh, you used to be.
Yeah, but why?
Weird.
Why? How'd you work that out?
Just weird.
How'd you work that out?
But, so really, the conclusion is each to their own, but
Well,
don't
well-
necessarily inflict it on people that are not interested.
Well, no,
But
no.
I never judge. I never ever judge anybody.
No.
And I think it's a really, really fascinating topic.
Yeah.
So if any of you have got any comments, then please do. Let us know all about your fetish.
We've uncovered a few little secrets there tonight, haven't we? There are lots of others, but that's maybe for another show when I'm a little bit more tiddly.
And we've got a lot more to reveal, let's just say that, haven't we?
Well, this has been fun. This
This is a good one.
Yeah,
This is a really, really
fun.
good. And it is really interesting, isn't it? It's a really interesting topic, actually.
Yeah. I mean, do you know, anything goes. I could say so much, but I can't. Anyway, Anyway,
Well,
chat.
because you'll be liable.
Yeah. On that note, cheers. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because don't forget our 200th subscriber won a date with Leslie or a place on the show, whatever you want. You know.
Yeah, so we're going to have to
Personally,
find out if this person wants to come out on a date with me or be a guest.
Don't look so sad. I'm sure they'll choose you. Anyway, like and subscribe, and we'll see you again very soon. Cheers.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Here comes